North by Northwest from 1959 is one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. It's got an exciting man-on-the-run story starring Cary Grant, and it blends action, comedy, and spy movie intrigue. It's the classic formula of the wrong man, and it's just enjoyable from start to finish. It also features Eva Marie Saint as a mysterious love interest, as well as James Mason and Martin Landau as excellent, creepy bad guys. It's got a thrilling Bernard Herman soundtrack and a number of very memorable sequences, including the infamous crop duster chase scene. And of course, it's got that amazing climax atop Mount Rushmore. This one's just a treat, and I wanted to do a review of this one. The film opens up with a bustling city sequence, including right off the bat Hitchcock's infamous cameo as he misses the bus. I love it. So Cary Grant here plays the character Roger Thornhill. He's an advertising executive, and he's hurried off to this business meeting in the city, and while he is there, he is out of nowhere taken away by two henchmen to a large, mysterious mansion. He's brought into a library and soon meets with this dapper English fellow played by James Mason, who I remember notably as Captain Nemo from the old Disney classic, but sadly without the beard. Boo, no beard. Anyhow, his assistant Leonard shows up, and he is played most excellently by Martin Landau. He's a very creepy character through this film. And they're talking to him, and they keep addressing him as Kaplan, to which he's completely baffled. He has no idea what's going on, but they seem to think he's a spy, something he's clearly not. So Roger refuses to cooperate with any of this and go along with them, so the mysterious English guy leaves, but tells Leonard to give him a drink, which basically means force him to drink a big old glass of booze so that they can dump him in a car somewhere and make it look like he drove off a cliff in a drunken state. Well, their plan goes awry when he is put into a car drunk, but he sort of comes to and he's able to drive away. Now, he's drunk out of his mind, but I guess slightly sober enough to realize his life's in danger, and he's driving on this swerving mountain road. It's got a lot of freaky point of view shots, and it's both amusing and terrifying as this drunken Roger goes swerving all over the place. It finally slams his brakes before hitting into some guy on a bike. Well, a cop stops him, and this is enough so that the evil henchmen who are kind of following and watching, they have to stop their pursuit, and Roger gets away. But he's in jail at this point, and he's drunk, and of course no one believes his story of abduction. He calls his mom, which I think is so funny. She's played here by Jessie Royce Landis, who also was in To Catch a Thief, another Hitchcock film I need to talk about later. Anyhow, he's in court, his lawyer defends him, and he's given the chance to go back to this mansion with some of the detectives, but none of the things from his time are there. Like the booze shelf, it's all gone. Everything's been kind of scrubbed. And there's even a fictitious Mrs. Townsend character who maintains that he was there and he was drunk and nobody believes him. But he's not deterred. He goes on the trail to find out who this real Kaplan character is. So he rushes out, heads to the UN to meet with this Mr. Kaplan, but he finds someone completely different. And before he can go much further with talking to this guy, he gets hit in the back with a knife. And Roger does one of the biggest cliche mistakes in the movie and removes the knife from his back while everyone is there watching and they all think he murdered him. You know, he's doing the obligatory, listen to me, I had nothing to do with this. Yeah, come on. Well, he's definitely on the run at this point. And he heads to a train station and tries to sneak away, and all the while the police are after him, as well as the creepy goons from the beginning of the film who wanted to kill him. On the train he runs into Eve, who's played by Eva Marie Saint, who for some reason decides to help him out and help him hide. And they dine together, and soon there's a romance blossoming between them. But is there something actually sneaky about this Eve character? Well, Roger makes his escape with her help, and she has called ahead to this Kaplan character for him and arranged that he can meet him out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. So he takes this Indianapolis bus and gets off at this prairie stop where this Kaplan is going to meet him at 3:30. And this is out in the middle of nowhere, out in this farmland. And this is where we get to the classic crop duster chase scene. It's one of the most excellent chases, and maybe it's just me, but whenever I'm out in the open and I see a small plane flying overhead, I think of this scene because it's just amazing. He manages to escape and makes his way to Chicago. And now look, it might just be me, but I didn't completely follow how he knew to go there, but the film can be a little complex to follow. I'll give you that much. And it's a detail I probably just missed, but while he is there, he's inquiring about Kaplan, and he happens to spot the character Eve, who doesn't see him. He heads to her room and meets with her, and while she seems overjoyed to see him alive again, he's very suspicious at this point of her. I mean, yeah, he went to where she said to go and was almost killed by a crop duster, so I'd be suspicious too. Anyhow, his suit is a mess, so he's going to take a shower, but while under this pretense that he's getting clean, he's actually just spying on her, and he sees that she's jotting down information from a mysterious caller. And later on, he's able to figure out from the pencil impression that she put down that she's going off to this auction house. So he follows, and there he finds Eve with the mysterious English guy and Leonard, and he confronts them. Well, the evil henchmen are there, and they move in to take him out. So Roger makes this scene in order to get arrested, to keep safe and police protection. But it's while he's in the police car, he's diverted to the airport to meet with the professor, played by Leo G. Carroll. And while he's on the tarmac with him, there's plenty of exposition. It helps explain about undercover agents, and he learns that Eve is actually an agent, and her life is in danger. So because of this, he agrees to help. And a meeting is set up with Roger and the English guy. His name is actually Van Damme, and they're going to meet at Mount Rushmore. And as we're nearing the end of the film, I'm just going to say it's building up to the epic conclusion. I don't want to give too much more away, but I'll let you figure out for yourself. Will Roger be able to save Eve? Will the evil Van Damme character succeed in his fiendish schemes? Well, watch this one to see for yourself. And just some quick closing thoughts. This is not only one of my favorite Hitchcock films, but it's also one of my favorite Cary Grant movies. And I love the James Bond style intrigue that takes place through the film. This man on the run, solving the mystery while also facing off against a very clever, very nasty bad guy in James Mason. It's great to be the viewer who's getting drawn into this mystery as his character is time after time wrongly accused of crimes, fleeing for his life, while also maintaining his cheeky humor as he solves the mystery of what's going on. And one of the things that stands out to me is some of the cinematic techniques Hitchcock used through this film. For instance, earlier in the film when Cary Grant's character is meeting with James Mason's character, watch how the camera just kind of moves and pans and gives kind of an uneasy feel to the room. Or when the camera is somehow elevated and looks down on the characters, this just gives this viewers kind of an uneasy feeling of what's going on. Hitchcock also incorporated some strong usage of angles through the film as well. And had I more time and could get into a film theory class, it'd be a lot of fun to really analyze and dissect all of this. But for now, I'll just say it's a neat effect, particularly when Cary Grant is out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. Just look for those strong angular lines in the composition. It's really cool. And reading and researching about this film, the Internet Movie Database has tons of interesting details of trivia about this film that are all worth checking out. Now, honestly, I can't recap them all here. I'll just wrap this up by saying that this is one of Hitchcock's finest, and it's, I think, one of the most entertaining man-on-the-run films in general. It's got intrigue, adventure, romance, and it's definitely one it's worth checking out.